Thank you. The next question, the member for Ottawa South.
Very much, Speaker, and let's just recap what's happened so far in this session. So first, the Premier got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, trying to give his friends, his rich friends, an $8.3 billion payday. The Premier's Principal Secretary, his Director of Housing, his former Executive Assistant, and his hand-picked Chief of Staff for the then Minister of Housing were all implicated. 3 cabinet ministers resigned, and the RCMP has launched a criminal investigation. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We all know that urban boundary changes and ministerial zoning orders were all used to pay off the Premier's ultra-rich friends. So, Speaker, will the Premier please explain just what he's accomplished?
Member is directly imputing motive. I'm going to ask him to withdraw. And to reply, Government House Leader, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the Premier and the Progressive Conservative caucus have managed to reduce the Liberals to a rump in the Legislative Assembly of Ontario. For the firstly, they went from a majority to 7 people, Speaker. And the other things that we've accomplished: 700,000 people have a job that didn't when he was in government. Because he will remember 300,000 people lost their jobs. In fact, the happiest people in the world when the Liberals were in power was the state of Michigan, because all our jobs were going to the state of Michigan because we couldn't compete with them, right? So thankfully, we're going to work together with our friends in the state of Michigan so that both of us can be successful. And the only way that we can do that is to never again elect a Liberal government supported by the Socialist NDP, who will drive jobs away not only from Ontario, but from our good friends in Michigan.
The supplementary question.
Speaker, it's no wonder that Minister McNaughton thought his luck would be better at Woodbine than on the front benches here. So here's what the Premier's got done. Legislation to protect the Greenbelt from himself. Legislation to undo the urban boundary. Ministerial zoning orders frozen for review. Speaker, this Ford is stuck in one gear. Reverse. So here's the kicker. At a time when people are trying to pay the bills, trying to pay the rent, they're just trying to take care of their families, what does the Premier do? He creates a bank, Speaker. Speaker, a bank. Unbelievable. One that I know will mean more high-paying jobs for his friends. So, Speaker, when will the Premier do something other than taking care of his wealthy, well-connected friends?
Remind the members to make reference to each other by ministerial title or by riding name. Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
I do have to agree with the Minister of Long-Term Care. Thank God that member gets one question every 11 days, because they're never good questions, right? You would think that the Liberals would not have learned a lesson. Right? So the Liberals have been reduced to 7 people in the Legislative Assembly. When they were in power, they didn't build long-term care, they didn't build hospitals. We all know that. They couldn't decide on subways. They decimated our education system, brought our colleges and universities to the ground, Mr. Speaker. And we lost thousands of jobs. We literally lost thousands of jobs because the Liberals said that the North was a wasteland that we shouldn't invest in, that the Ring of Fire was of no value, and that Ontario, the manufacturing hub of Canada, responsible for the success of this country, should transition to a service economy. People had to decide between heating and eating under the Liberals, and this guy gets up and asks the question on what have you done for me lately? 2 majority governments, 700,000 people with the dignity of a job and a booming economy. That's what we've done this week.